absolute thrill to be him.
Porsche Sixt, Carrera Cup Germany. 30 minutes of explosive action.
Oh, I love it, I love it.
It was just 1 week ago that the brand new season of Porsche Sixt Carrera Cup Deutschland kicked off in the sunshine of Imola. And what a start to the season it was. I think bruising would be a good word to describe it. It ended up with a double win from pole position for Theo Overhaus, jumping to the top of the point standings. Well, we've moved about northeast, about 567 kilometers from Italy to Austria to enjoy the 13.8 degrees centigrade of the Styrian mountains. It is a stunning day here. Hot and dry and perfect for round 2 of the 2026 season of Porsche Sixt Carrera Cup Deutschland. A huge crowd is gathered here, part of the DTM weekend, and took me a long time to get into the circuit early this morning. This crowd are about to have their doors blown off, because if you've never witnessed Porsche Sixt Carrera Cup Deutschland live, you have not lived. The noise, the speed, the colour is electrifying, and with a full grid of the brand new Porsche 911 Cup car this year, the entertainment has been coming thick and strong. And Alex Tauscher is one of the drivers who's really taken to the new Cup car. He had a great time in Imola with a 2nd and a 3rd place, looking to get the remaining place on the podium. He's just picked up his 4th pole position, but he's joined on the front row by one of the 2 new Porsche juniors, Marcus Armand, who has been very rapid. The Finnish driver starting on the front row alongside Alex Tauscher. Tauscher's had 2 wins in Porsche Sixt Carrera Cup Deutschland in the past, would love to make it 3. Louis Perrault had a torrid time at Imola last weekend and would be very happy to put that memory behind him. Well, he's done everything that he can by qualifying in 3rd place. These cars qualified late yesterday evening as the sun was going down. It was a thrilling qualifying session, and I have to tell you now, spoiler, the grid for tomorrow's race looks very different to that of today. There is the man in black, Keegan Masters from South Africa. He too has a 3rd place and a 2nd place from Imola. It means that in the point standing, he is in joint 2nd place with Alex Tauscher. So there's going to be a bit of pressure between those 2 drivers. Now that is the other of the Porsche juniors, of the 2 Porsche juniors from this year. Flint Schuring, he had a weekend in Imola that he would really rather forget. He comes into this season very much as a championship favourite, but scored 0 points on account of 2 non-finishers. His teammate, Chester Kiefer, had a mixed weekend. He won in the rookies in the 1st race last weekend in Imola, but in the 2nd race got damage on the opening lap. In fact, we lost both of the Schumacher CLRT cars on the opening lap of the 2nd race last weekend. Keep an eye on Gus Burton from the UK in the Fork Racing by Atlas Ward car. Great to have Fork Racing back on the grid of Porsche Sixt Carrera Cup Deutschland for this year. Gus showed an enormous turn of speed, as we see Iris Dorr there on the right-hand side of the picture. She is the ID of ID Racing. She stood on the podium not just for the 1st time ever in this series, but also the 2nd on account of that double win from Theo Overhaus last weekend. But yes, keep an eye on Gus Burton. He was very, very quick last weekend, but for some bad luck, but he showed what he was good. He dropped to 31st at one point and came through to finish 11th in the 1st race. Alongside him, keep an eye also on Wouter Boerkamp. I had a chat to him last night. He was thoroughly disappointed with his own performance and felt as though he could do an awful lot better. That is the view from on board with Keegan Masters. Mr. Consistency. He's a 2-time Porsche Carrera Cup Italia champion last year and the year before. Wins in almost everything that he does, and certainly has his eyes on the championship here in Porsche Sixt Carrera Cup Deutschland. I'm in the commentary box, which is overlooking the pit straight. I've got headphones on, I've got the door closed, and the noise is still deafening. These cars make everybody stop and turn their heads because Porsche Sixt Carrera Cup Deutschland is a show stealer, and you're about to find out why. It's race 3 of a 16-race season. It's Theo Overhaus who leads the Drivers' Championship, Sam Yongyan who leads the Rookie Championship, and Sam Shaheen who leads the Pro-Am Championship. And there is confirmation of that front row. Alex Tauscher with Marcus Amand alongside Louis Perot and Keegan Masters on row 2 of the grid, and then on row 3 an all-Schumacher CLRT row with Chester Kiefer and Flint Schuring alongside each other. Gus Burton has Wouter Boerkamps for company. And then on row 5, Dirk Schouten and the double winner from last weekend, Theo Overhaus, and indeed the championship leader, Joe Warhurst, another from Great Britain, has Caleb Sumich, comes all the way from Australia. Then Monty Masson, he has been really quick, and Niels Langeveld, the popular Dutch driver, on row 7. On row 8, Gianluca Tucciaroglu, he had a good qualifying. Mathieu Ferreira was very disappointed with his on row 8 of the grid. On row 9, Nick Ho and Sebastian Freimuth. Sebastian in the lap time performance car for the first time last weekend. Then it's Sam Yongyan and Max Mutschlechner, both in the rookie standings as denoted by the yellow box. Then Jonas Greif, the driver with 130 sponsors, has Gustav Bergstrom for company. Daniel Rose, great to have him doing a full season this year with Tim Reiter alongside him. Tim, who's moved across from GT4 Germany. The only female racer on the field, Alexandra Vatova, is alongside the pole sitter in the Pro-Am, Zuren Spreng. Mikael Esman and Spreng, keep an eye on them in the Pro-Ams. And then there's Dylan Yip, who lines up all the way, comes from Hong Kong. Sam Shaheen, another Australian visitor, has another Brit, Ray King, alongside him. It is a packed grid in front of a packed house under the blue skies as we get ready to continue this enthralling saga that is the 37th season of Porsche Sixt Carrera Cup Deutschland. Of course, we're also in the 75th anniversary year of Porsche Motorsport, and boy, are we celebrating it. The cars, for the first time this season, with ABS brakes, and it has changed the dynamic of the racing. We didn't know where to look in Imola, at the front, in the middle, and at the back of the pack. We've got lots to be thinking about. We've got the overall championship, we've got the Pro-Am championship, we've got the Rookie championship, and we've got the Team championship. But first of all, we've got to negotiate this circuit, the Red Bull Ring, 4.318 kilometers around, 10 turns, 7 to the right, 3 to the left, lots of undulation, lots of tricky corners, lots of track limit warnings as well in free practice and indeed in quali. And our race control personnel, led by Lukas Stegner, Christian Menzel and Christoph Maischak, will be looking closely at those track limits. Right, well, this is the calm before the storm. Calm yourself, everybody. This is going to be insane. It's quiet at the moment. Now the engine noise is about to rise because we are getting ready for race 3, Porsche Sixt Carrera Cup Deutschland. Red Bull Ring is go! And Alex Tauscher, a poor start from that pole position. He's already lost a position to Louis Perot. The two cars just bouncing off each other. Marcus Armand leading the way into turn 1. The rest of the cars come streaming around turn 1. The noise is deafening. Now into turn 2 we come. It's taken absolutely flat out. We're on board with championship leader Theo Overhaus. You can see cars side by side. In front, that's Gus Burton on one side of one of the Schumacher CLRT cars. Going wide, Louis Perot losing a position to Alex Tauscher, Dirk Schouten, and we got cars now spinning, and it's Flint Schuring once again. Schuring pointing in the wrong direction. He's got together with his fellow Dutchman, Wouter Boerkamps. That's a disaster. Two of the championship favourites, and it's Chester Kiefer as well with damage. This is race 2 of Imola all over again, both Schumacher CLRT cars. Flint Scheuring looks to have been able to get away with it and rejoin, albeit at the back. Is that Wouter Boerkamp's? No, it's not. That is Gianluca Tucciaroglu, also in the runoff area. So lots of drama early on, no such problems for Marcus Armand. He beat Alex Tauscher out of the blocks, but Louis Perrault is closing in on him again. Tauscher got past Perrault, but now Tauscher is trying to defend as hard as he can because Perrault is coming back. Here come the rest of the cars. Insane racing already for Porsche Sixt Carrera Cup Deutschland. The dust rises up into the air. The drivers need to be very careful of those track limits. Out across the line we come. So Marcus Armand is the leader, Alex Tauscher in second, Louis Perrault in third. Keep an eye on Keegan Masters in fourth place. We're on board with Gus Burton, having a little look to the outside of Dylan Yip. A lot of positions changing in the opening lap of the race. So Caleb Sumich is the leading rookie driver, as denoted by the yellow box. The leading Pro-Am driver is Mikael Essmann. So much shuffling of the pack in the opening laps of the race. There is Dylan Yip once again in the gold and black car, the number 6 car. Gus Burton has dropped back, so he's had a very difficult opening lap. There you can see the leader having broken clear. Second, third, fourth, glued together. Then fifth place, Dirk Schouten. Theo Overhaus just keeping his nose clean. He's the quickest of anybody in Sector 1. So he's a man on a charge, knows that his championship lead needs to be defended. He needs to build on that as best he can. A lot of his rivals falling by the wayside. So that's good news for him. There's Sam Yongyan in the number 65 car. He's currently in third place in the rookies, so he's very much in that rookie race. Gustav Bergström, also one of the rookies as well, in 13th place overall and in fourth place in the rookie category within this race. So as things settle down a bit, we look down from the perspective of turn 1. It's a real climb up to turn 1. Not as much of a climb as it is in towards turn 3. A lot of undulation on this circuit, but here we come. Right, challenges for position further back, and that is Gustav Bergström having to defend hard from the 66 car of Monty Masson. Let's have a look at the start. Tauscher just didn't get away as well as he'd hoped. Tried to move across to shut the door on Louis Perrault, but Perrault had got the better of him. The two cars making fairly sizable contact into turn 1. Keeping an eye on the two Schumacher CLRT cars, which both came to grief in that opening lap. This is the view on board from Keegan Masters. He was like, you three at the front, you just fight amongst yourselves. I'm keeping out of trouble here. Into turn 1, he's got the perfect view of that battle for second and third place. Just keeps out of it. I think discretion, the better part of valor there, as we run 3 abreast into that first turn. I think Wouter Boerkamp's was on the inside of the two Schumacher CLRT cars. Don't know if there was any contact there. Certainly, those were the two cars, the 3 cars that dropped back in that opening lap of the race. Right, here it is. Well, it was Gianluca Tucciaroglu into the back of Wouter Boerkamp's, into the back of Flint Scheuring, into his teammate, Chester Kiefer. So a bit of a chain reaction there, and that's how Gus Burton got turned around, picked up a head-on. Well, credit to him. Puts it back into gear, keeps going. This is going to be depressing for all the Flint Scheuring fans, so those who's on board with him. He was just keeping his nose clean, had allowed Keegan Masters just to get by, and any second now, there's the thump from behind. Wouter Boerkamp's giving him the head-on. Not a lot that Flint could do, and indeed, Wouter Boerkamp's, it felt like it was a lot of cars braking late into turn 3, and the ones at the front getting potted like snooker balls and turned around. Then it was Tucciaroglu who went wide. He'd already, you can see the damage on the left front of that car. He had already been involved in the Boerkamp's / Scheuring / Kiefer incident, so the car already damaged, maybe not handling so well into the corner, and he dropped all the way to stone last in the race. There are a lot of investigations going on by our race stewards. Last weekend in Imola, I'm told that they had dinner at about midnight on the Saturday. They do take this very, very seriously. They look at all videos, including onboards, including track cams, including TV coverage. They make sure that any penalties that need to be awarded, and there may well be, They make sure that they are true and proper. Right, the quickest person in Sector 1 on that last lap was Sam Yongyan, who is in 12th place, third in the rookies. So he's going to be pushing hard from there. Sam, who has been really struggling with ill health for several months, and having to take it easy, so didn't take part in a lot of the free practice sessions and the testing sessions that took place here at the Red Bull Ring. But he is still leading the rookies as we look at Theo Uberhaus. Now turning the heat up on 5th place, Dirk Schouten in the purple car in front. A hugely popular driver. Scored his best ever finish in Porsche Sixt Carrera Cup Deutschland in race 2 at Imola, 6th place. But coming under pressure here from Theo Uberhaus. Uberhaus sees the gap, gives him the nudge, but in so doing just opens the door for Niels Langeveld to come sailing through. And Schouten, well, I've just bigged him up. He's got a problem now. I think that might be a flat tyre. So Dirk Schouten in the looping by Cartec car. Great to have Cartec back on the grid this year, but not the race that they are hoping for. So Schouten with problems, dropping to the back and almost certainly into retirement. Meanwhile, Keegan Masters is now the quickest man on the track. Keep an eye on the man in black in 3rd place. Dylan Yip in the number 6 car comes all the way from Hong Kong. Many different nationalities represented on the grid here. That was Schouten. So he gave it a little kiss, you would say, to Dirk Schouten. Niels Langeveld went, I'll have that, thank you very much. He did not need 2 invitations there. Caleb Sumic also in there as well. The Australian driver, well, it was something of a wake-up call at Imola last week when he discovered what European Cup racing is like, but he's really taken the bull by the horns and now leads the way in the rookies. He got a 2nd place in race 2 at the rookies, but this would be his best ever result. Dirk Schouten will be thoroughly disappointed about that, and you can see that the stewards are investigating that incident between the championship leader and the Benelux champion, Porsche Carrera Cup Benelux champion from 2024. Looking down from the very steep turn 3, cameras, TV cameras, have a habit of flattening tracks out, and it was only when I was running around here last night, you realise as Schouten comes into the pits, coming down into that turn 4, it is a really steep drop as well. It is quite a tricky circuit to master, and that is a real shame for the Dirk Schouten fans. While all this is going on, Marcus Armand has just broken clear at the front of Alex Tauscher. Tauscher will not be happy about having lost the number 1 position as we look at Joe Warhurst and Matheus Ferreira and Nick Ho all running together. 3 drivers in the Porsche talent pool, 8 drivers in the talent pool, and there's Sam Yongyan behind them as well. He's also in the talent pool. They get coaching from Wolf Hensler, the legendary Porsche driver. They get media coaching, mental coaching. They even get etiquette training, how to eat and behave at the dinner table. We can all do some lessons in that. Brilliant stuff from Porsche, and those 4 drivers all in the talent pool and all learning the tricks of the trade. It's a talent pool driver in the shape of Caleb Sumic who leads for the rookies in 7th place. Right, what's happening in the Pro-Ams? I'll tell you what's happening. Mikael Essmann in 21st place, Søren Spreng in 23rd, 2nd in the Pro-Ams. Sam Shaheen is 3rd in the Pro-Ams. He was leading the championship for the Pro-Ams coming into this weekend, but stacked it yesterday in quali. Right, championship leader, incorrect overtaking, penalty lap 4 times. Ouch, that is gonna hurt big time. Penalty box is on the exit of turn 3. He's gonna have to pass through the penalty box at no more than 60 kilometers an hour. I was going to say 50, 60 kilometers an hour. It is the equivalent of adding 5 seconds per pass through the box to his lap time. So he has had what will effectively be a 20-second time penalty as a result of that contact with Dirk Schouten, and that is really going to hurt. He'd worked his way up into 6th place, but an additional 20 seconds, well, that is going to take him all the way down to pretty well last place in this race. So a disaster for our championship leader, Theo Uberhaus. There's an expression that after the Lord Mayor's show comes the dust cart. Well, this is the dust cart as he drives through the dust storm, because the memories and the celebrations of last weekend in Imola will soon feel like a distant memory. We've also got a track limit warning that has been given to Sebastian Freimuth. And in fact, that is the only track limit warning we've had, which is something of an achievement. If you'd seen the list from free practice and testing of track limit warnings, you'd be very impressed indeed. So there is Theo Ervaus, off he goes. Oh, that's gonna hurt. He'll see the rest of the field coming through. He's gonna have to do that 3 more times, slowing down to that 60 kilometers an hour, and this is why. So there was a gap on the inside of Schouten. That was all good, but then he was braking late. He was trying to close off Dirk Schouten from coming back, I think. Back end of the car, stepping out, they make contact, and that was the end of Dirk Schouten's race. Right, look at this. Keegan Masters now for second place. So the South African sails past Alex Tauscher with relative ease. He waited for his moment. I think Masters is showing himself to be a very patient driver, and he waited for that moment, and now he sets about after Marcus Armand. So the gap, 1.176 between Armand and Tauscher, and in fact that's updated to about 8/10, but we'll see what Keegan Masters can do about that lead that Marcus Armand has. Having said that, Tauscher is not done yet and may well look to be challenging for second step of the podium. We'll keep one eye on that. In fact, the gap is 1.176 now between Armand and Masters. Let's see whether he can do anything about that. But Alex Tauscher, he's going to be decidedly grumpy about having lost that second place. He has a look into turn 3, not really able to do anything around the outside, but putting the pressure on now into turn 4. This is a really steep downhill section. In the olden days, before the ABS, this would have been doubly tricky. It's still tricky now. So downhill into turn 4 we come. Through the gearbox they come. Masters has him well covered off. So round turn 4, which is taken, and then on board with Flint Schuring now. So Flint Schuring, after the traumas of the opening lap, he's not even in the points at the moment. He's in 18th place, so that really is bad news for him after the opening traumas there. We've lost from this race Dirk Schouten, Chester Kiefer, Wouter Boerkamps and Gianluca Tucciaroglu. There is the leader in the Pro-Ams, just to the inside of Tim Reiter. That's Mikael Essmann in the green and white machine. The Pro-Am drivers who fight for their own championship. They are drivers who are a minimum of 30 years old, have not competed in any Pro Series in the last 5 years. Tim Reiter is not in the Pro-Am fight, and he's not in any mood to give up that position. All that's done is fumbled Mikael Essmann, and now Søren Spreng jumps to the lead of the Pro-Am race. And there is Theo Ervaus. Well, that's not the penalty box, and that looks like a bad day getting worse. He's off at the side of the track there. He rejoins, but he is now a long, long way back. Any chance of a podium most certainly gone here. So Theo Ervaus, I don't know how many of the penalty laps he served, but well, to add insult to injury, he's picked up a track limits warning. And if that was it, or whether it was another one, but certainly Theo Ervaus having a fairly disastrous day. The championship leader is going to struggle to score any points. He's currently showing in 26th and last of the runners. And there it was. And was that a little helping hand from a car behind? Well, to the inside, Gus Burton was there. Burton, whose front of his car looks like he has been partaking in a banger race, making connection with the 44 car. So Ervaus has turned around. Now expect the race directors want to look at that. And there's another one into the barrier. That's Daniel Roos. So the Team Proton car into the barrier, and safety car is out. Going that way is not going to work. The barrier does not move. So safety car is out. The car's going to be brought back to a much slower race. I'll put the kiss of death on it. I said there had been any track limit warnings, and since then we've had numerous track limit warnings. So the stewards have got an awful lot to be looking at here. So safety car is out. Right, let's have a look here. What happened to Daniel Rose? Well, it was Sam Yongyan on the inside. The two cars just connecting, and Rose getting crossed up, turned around, and fairly light contact with the barrier. So doesn't look like there would have been too much damage there, but certainly the gravel trap doing what it's meant to do. Sam Yongyan currently third in the rookies, so he's in 10th place. So Rose would have been somewhere around 9th place at the point, I imagine, by my reckoning. Caleb Sumic leads the rookies, 7th place. Mateusz Ferreira is up to 6th place. Now, how did that happen? I was talking to Mateusz this morning, and his chin could not have been any lower down. He was so fed up with quali. He'd qualified in 16th place and thought it was all gone. Well, he's made it up to 6th place. So Mateusz Ferreira, having got past the rookie leader, Caleb Sumic, confirmation, no surprises there, that we've got a number of investigations, including that one between Daniel Rose and Sam Yongyan that has been referred to the stewards. So Ferreira up to 6th place. Niels Langeveld, a good solid job from him. He's another driver that has come from the Porsche Carrera Cup Benelux Series last year, although we have seen him in GT Masters in the past, back in 2020, if I remember rightly. Very much an experienced TCR racer as well. So he's in a solid position there. Some good points coming his way if he can keep that going. Louis Perrault in 4th. He'll be delighted about that after a very traumatic weekend in Imola. I told you the crowd would be entertained, didn't I? We've still got 12.5 minutes of this left. So Sumic leads to the rookies. Joe Warhurst has made it up to 8th place. Nick Ho is 2nd in the rookies, 9th overall. Last podium position for the rookies, Sam Yongyan in the top 10. But he, of course, is under investigation with the stewards for that incident with Daniel Rose. So 12 minutes remaining. We're behind the safety car at the moment. I think probably just good for everybody to take a bit of a chill pill for a few moments. But in a moment, I think once we've cleared all the debris, look at the front of Gus Burton's car. I mean, heaven forbid, that was brand new at the start of the season. Yes, once we've cleared the debris, cleared the cars, which I think will be fairly shortly, look at your graphic and you'll see the purple clock indicates who the fastest man is on the track. Well, what might have been, because Flint Schuring in 16th place is the fastest man on the track. His championship season has not got off the way he had hoped for, and he's given himself a lot of work to do over the remaining 13 races. Well, you don't need me to tell you the safety car is in on his lap because it's flashing in every direction. So it will be the job of Marcus Armand, one of the two Porsche juniors in this race, to back the pack up. And he'll want to get the jump on Keegan Masters. Masters' only focus now is what Armand is doing in front, to try and anticipate it, to try and get the jump on him. Armand can go when he wants to, which happens to be about now. As long as he doesn't catch the safety car, it's his choice. The cars cannot overtake until they hit the start-finish line, which is halfway down the pit straight, funnily enough. So Armand getting a good start there. Masters back into the clutches of Tauscher a little bit. Here comes the snake of cars, the dirt rising up into the air. Two of the target cars fighting for position further back, and that's Sumic and Warhurst. I think, yes, it is. Warhurst to the outside into turn 1. Nick Ho just behind, ready to pounce if there's any gaps that open up between these two cars. Listen to the noise. Absolutely deafening from these cars. Sensational stuff. Towards turn 3 we come. Warhurst to the inside of Caleb Sumic there. The two cars, do they make contact? Sumic goes deep a little bit. Nick Ho takes advantage of both of them coming together. Ho's got both of them, and Sumic, he's got problems. Was there damage from that contact with Joe Warhurst? The two target cars, the two talent pool drivers. There's going to be some awkward conversations over lunch today because Sumic is out of the race. You could just see from the hand gestures, he is thoroughly fed up with that. From the lead of the rookies, he's now parked up at the side. You can see again, there was a gap on the inside. You can see the back end just snaking a bit under braking. A little bit of contact between the two of them. Sam Yongyan also getting tripped up as well. And I expect the race directors are going to need to take a look at that. But one thing is for sure, Caleb Sumich is done and dusted for this race, which is such a shame. That was the view on board with Gus Burton. He really has been in the battles there, but he's kept out of it on this occasion and picks up a couple of places as well. There's Sumich and Yongyan. So the investigation actually between Yongyan and Sumich. So I think the stewards will just be looking at pretty well all of them in that bunch. There it is. That's a great view. That is the two cars. In fact, Warhurst was on the curbs. And I think Yongyan, the innocent party there, really had nowhere to go. This was what it was like from the perspective of Caleb Sumich. Boom, there we go. The contact from the sister car. He was punted deep, and there'll be lots of conversations there afterwards. Track limit warning for Nick Ho in all of that as well. Less than 8.5 minutes remaining, and there Sumich climbs from the car. He's come an awful long way to race here. Taking residence in Austria for the race season, and has found it quite a wake-up call. Safety car is out, there's no surprise there. Car 22 under investigation for a safety car infringement. That's Ray King in the Pro-Ams. Told you the stewards would be busy, didn't I? So there's Sumich's car, about to be removed from the circuit. So the incident has now been updated, and it is between Sumich and Joe Warhurst that is under investigation. So that car will be removed fairly swiftly, and the track, they'll just check that there's no damage and no debris on the track, and then we will be back underway very, very shortly. So, Marcus Armand leads the way. Remember, there's a race going on here at the front. Masters in second place, continuing what would be a very consistent point score if things remain as they are. Alex Tauscher in third place. Dare I do the maths and put the kiss of death on this? I really don't know. But if Masters does carry on to finish in second place, and we could see that's Gianluca Tucciaroglu with the Team 75 crew just having a look there and just getting across what might or indeed might not have happened. But by my reckoning, if the race finished as they are now, car 25 under investigation for a jump start, that's Wouter Boerkamps. If the race finished now, our new championship leader would be Keegan Masters, 4 points clear of Alex Tauscher, all subject to confirmation, and we've still got 6.5 minutes remaining of this. So plenty still to come, and of course the stewards have got some things to look at as well, although I don't think there's anything relating to the first 5 or 6 cars anyway. So Masters being Mr. Consistent. Now Flint Schuring has done a great job. He's into the points. Remember, he was pointing the wrong way at the start of this race, so he's up to 14th place. So Schuring, if things finish now, I can't believe I'm even saying this, but if things finish now, Schuring will score his first points of the season. If it wasn't for bad luck, he wouldn't have any luck at all, as the old saying goes. Safety car is in on this lap. ID Racing are wondering what on earth happened there with Theo Overhaus, who is currently showing in 24th place. So here we go. We've had a couple of rehearsals of this already. Now we do it all again. 5.5 minutes remaining on the clock. The cars, at the moment, just heading round turns 8. So it'll be just towards turn 9. And again, Marcus Armand will want to hit the accelerator when he thinks that Keegan Masters is least expecting it. So everybody focused on what's behind. Masters keeping the heat in the tyres at the same time as watching, and there's Armand, pretty well similar position to the last time around. Hits the accelerator into turn 9. Quite a steep downhill here, and then into 10. You see the back end sliding. The tyres on these cars taking a beating around the Red Bull Ring. Søren Spring is back in front of Mikael Esman in the Pro-Ams. Up towards turn 1 we come. Less than 5 minutes remaining, plus 1 lap of this race. The car's fan out. That's Flint Schuring making up places to the inside of Sebastian Freimuth. He comes. And into turn one, another position done. Esman and Søren Spreng running side by side. Remember, these two cars ended up in the gravel trap in the opening race of the season. They have been fighting each other for the last 3 or 4 years. Right, what was that? No further action on the jump start. So Wouter Boerkamps will breathe a sigh of relief on board with Gus Burton under braking. Joe Warhurst up ahead. Nick Ho, our leading rookie, is Nick Ho. Sam Yongyan taking a different line. Has he got problems, or is he just going 3 abreast? A wild ride there, 3 abreast. Takes a lot of bravery around the Red Bull ring. Sam Yongyan likely to get hung out to dry here if he's not careful. Joe Warhurst also spearing off into the gravel. He was in 8th place. He'll see a whole handful of cars come sailing through. So Warhurst has to gather it all up and rejoin. Flint Scheuring on board, picking off cars one by one. Currently up into 14th, 13th place now. Just the safety car maybe helping a little in bringing the pack to him, but there's challenges around him as well. Sam Yongyan's not done yet. The two Dutch drivers briefly running side by side. In front of them is Sebastian Freimuth. On board once again with Flint Scheuring, razor sharp focused on all the cars in front. The dirt is thrown up into his face as they cross the line. Up towards turn one they come. Once again, 3 minutes on the clock of racing. Marcus Armand leads the way. Keegan Masters in 2nd place. Then it's Alex Tauscher. Then Niels Langeveld. Mathieu Ferreira, Louis Perrault. Nick Ho is our leading rookie. Then Gus Burton, Monty Masson. Then Gustav Bergstrom, Dylan Yip from quite a long way back in the starting position has made it all the way up to 11th place. But we're not done yet. There's Mathieu Ferreira in the number 27 car, was looking good in testing and free practice, but couldn't hook it all together in qualifying. Now has Louis Perrault bearing down on him. Perrault, who's clearly lost some positions early on in the race, now trying to come back at him. But Gus Burton has an eye on both of them in the number 57 car. Less than 2.5 minutes remaining of this race. Behind Gus Burton is Monty Masson as well. He is such a rapid driver. The snow-capped mountains in the background. What a setting for race 3 of the season, and a penalty lap has been awarded. We thought track limits might come into it. It's Sebastian Freimuth who is going to feel the wrath of the stewards. A real shame. He's done a strong job getting up into 12th place, but that visit to the penalty box is gonna hurt doubly as much because the cars are bunched up together after the safety car. Lots of track limit warnings coming through on the timing screen now. Looking down from the perspective of turn one, Armand has had this under control, but the gap is less than 0.3 of a second. Keegan Masters senses an opportunity for a first ever victory in Porsche Sixt Carrera Cup Deutschland. That's Sam Shaheen, who getting together. Daniel Rose is probably going to wish he'd stayed in bed this morning. So the two cars coming together, and once again Rose left facing the traffic in the Team Proton car. Shaheen prevents himself from making further contact, but it hasn't been the greatest weekend for him so far. But Masters to the outside of Armand into that tricky turn 4. This is for the lead. The two cars side by side. Armand fights back, gives the squeeze. Masters onto the gravel. Less than a minute of time racing remaining. Then it'll be +1 lap once the clock strikes 0. Alex Tauscher senses the opportunity, looks at 2nd place. That releases Marcus Armand at the front. The two 2nd place, 3rd place cars running deep and wide. The gravel getting thrown up into the air. That has released Marcus Armand. Suddenly Masters looking under threat in that 2nd place. Alex Tauscher and Masters, remember that they were level in points coming into this race, in 2nd place in the championship. So whoever finishes in front of these two may well be the championship leader when the checkered flag falls. 15 seconds of timed racing. So it'll be this lap, then one more to decide the 1, 2, 3 in this race. Armand now with a 1.1 second gap, but it's all to play for in the background. Niels Langeveld senses the opportunity for some silverware to get on the podium. He's in 4th place at the moment, but he's closed in on the 2nd and 3rd place cars just ahead of him. 2nd, 3rd, 4th, running nose to tail. Mathieu Ferreira just a little bit too far back to challenge for a podium position at the moment, but it could all change yet. We are on the penultimate lap of this race 3 of this 16 race season. Porsche 6 Carrera Cup Deutschland. Our leader, Marcus Armand, has broken clear after that challenge from Keegan Masters. Masters into turn 4, looks to have fended off the attentions of Alex Tauscher, but he's still going to have to complete one more circuit of the Red Bull Ring. Now behind them, Monty Masson, Nick Ho running side by side. This is for the lead in the rookie race as well. Rookie first, rookie second, rookie third, rookie fourth, all running together. Those 4 cars looking for the top step of the rookie race. Nick Ho flashes the lights. Monty Masson has been something of a sensation on his debut. Gus Burton once again picking up the dirt just ahead of them. But Montego Masson, coached by the legendary Christopher Zirkling, has been something of a sensation so far this season. Nick Ho, a really solid driver. He came from Porsche Carrera Cup Benelux, challenging now for the top step of the podium in the rookie race. We start the last lap of this race. Masters has broken clear of Tauscher. Has he got anything else up his sleeve? Look at the background at the rookie leaders. Monty Massa with Nick Ho to the outside into turn 1. In the background, Gustav Bergstrom, Dylan Yip in there, and also Flint Schering has fought his way back into this race when we thought it was all over. He's in 12th place at the moment. If any of these cars get together, he could pick up an awful lot of points. Nick Ho, a little look to the outside of Masson into turn 3, ducks back to the inside. The 2 cars at the front of the rookie race are going to be running side by side as they head in towards turn 4. On this, the final lap of the race. There's first, there's second, third, fourth, fifth, sixth, seventh, all running together. Then the fight for 8th is also the fight for the top step of the rookies. It's Nick Ho with a nose in front. He gives the squeeze to Masson. Masson drops back into second in the rookies. There's Tim Reiter spearing off into the gravel after contact. Flint Schering there as well. Dylan Yip has fallen back. He's got Sam Yongyan for company behind him. There's a replay of Tim Reiter getting together with Alex Vativer, who's also having a solid race. She's made her place up to 17th place. So good job from Alex Vativer. Tim Reiter sees bits of bodywork in his rearview mirror. We're on the last lap of the race. We're heading in to the last corner and onto the pit straight for the very last time. It's a first ever win for Marcus Armand in Porsche Sixt Carrera Cup Deutschland. Keegan Masters pressured him all the way home, but that second place moves him to the top of the championship. Alex Tauscher, yet another podium. Niels Langeveld gave it everything. 4th place ahead of Mathieu Ferreira with a stonking drive from the back. Then it's Louis Perot putting the memories of last weekend to bed ahead of Gus Burton in 7th place, and that's a best ever result for Gus Burton. The winner in the rookies, Nick Ho, beats Gustav Bergstrom because Montego Masson drops down to 3rd place in the rookies. Flint Schering must feel like 11th place. He probably deserved more than that, in his opinion, I should think. The fastest man on the track, ahead of Sebastian Freimuth, who had that visit to the penalty box. In the Pro-Am race, Søren Spreng finished in front of Mikael Esman, 19th place overall. Boy, what a race that was. I should think the Porsche spare parts department are going to be working overtime tonight as well. And under the shadow of the snow-capped mountains here in Styria, we've witnessed Marcus Armand taking his first ever win in Porsche 6 Carrera Cup Deutschland, ahead of his teammate Proton Competitions Keegan Master, Alex Tauscher in 3rd. Niels Langeveld, Mathieu Ferreira, the Brazilian, in 5th, ahead of Louis Perot from France, Gus Burton from the UK, and then in 8th place, the winner in the rookies, Nick Ho. Gustav Bergstrom in the 17th place, in the 17 car, takes his first ever podium in the rookies, 2nd place in the rookies, and Monty Masson, well, 3rd in the rookies, not really a just reward for what was a sensational job. Flint Schering, after the opening lap woes, finishes in 11th place, but finally gets his account open in terms of points in the championship and will come back stronger tomorrow, you know that. 4th place in the rookies, Dylan Yip, eventually in 13th ahead of Sam Yongyan. The results do not tell the story. Yet another enthralling race in Porsche 6 Carrera Cup Deutschland. But the winner He's not doing a full season in this series. Marcus Armand is very much putting his attention into Porsche Carrera Cup Asia this year. So he's doing a partial campaign. I think he's doing all bar 2 rounds in Porsche Sixt Carrera Cup Deutschland. He is the outgoing champion of Porsche Carrera Cup France. Of course, I've mentioned already, he is a Porsche Junior, and now he is a winner in Porsche Sixt Carrera Cup Deutschland. And there is the confirmation. It's Keegan Masters who jumps to the top of the championship ahead of Alex Tauscher. The leader coming into today, Theo Overhaus, drops down to 3rd, but by no means out of touch. Maybe if Marcus Armand were to get a few more wins under his belt, he'd put his focus on here rather than Asia. Not sure that's how it works. Matheus Ferreira in 5th place. Gus Burton 6th in the championship, so some solid points there as well. But Marcus Armand, I think there was never any doubt he was going to win races this year. It was just a question of how long it was going to take him to get there. Well, the answer to that is not very long. And there is Marcus with Dominic Sitzer from Porsche, organiser of this wonderful championship that is in its 37th season. The drivers heading off into the cool-down area, and then in a few moments, hopefully, we will see them onto the podium. So there's Keegan, just jumping on the scales. Marcus looking chilled. So he jumps onto the scales as well. Of course, the weight of the drivers and the weight of the cars taken into consideration. Minimum and maximum weights. There's Alex Tauscher yet to take his helmet off. Yet another podium for Alex Tauscher. Has finished every race this season so far in the top 3. And there is Keegan Masters. We always knew he was going to be quick, and he has proven that. One of many, many rapid drivers currently coming out of South Africa. So, quick interviews, and then it'll be on to the podium for these drivers. I would just say, tread lightly with the results, because it's all subject to confirmation. We have had some penalty laps awarded. Daniel Roos has had a 5-second time penalty. Theo Overhaus has had another 5-second time penalty. What a race he's had. And Sam Shaheen, the driver who was leading the Pro-Am Championship, has also had a 5-second time penalty. The incident between Marcus Armand and Keegan Masters, no further action. But rest assured, the race directors and race stewards will be looking long and hard at this race. Good luck to them as they declare the result, probably sometime Monday morning. So there we see a lovely slow-mo of Marcus Armand crossing the line. And the team at Proton Competition, newly rejuggled and streamlined for 2026. A very, very welcome addition to the grid. And the crowd will have been entertained. Those that have never witnessed Porsche Sixt Carrera Cup Deutschland before will have been absolutely dazzled by what has unfolded before then. So, what a race that turned out to be. To confirm, well, not to confirm, but to suggest that the winner in the rookies, Nick Ho, and that not only is his first podium in the rookies, but also his first win. He won in Porsche Carrera Cup Benelux at Assen last year, and he's a great driver in the McDonald's car. He's hugely popular with the families, and he will be delighted with that rookie win as we listen in.
He is a bit faster than me, I think. Yeah. But Masters is not close to him. But Masters is like, I don't know.
Well, Alex Tauscher saying Armand is a bit close to him, but Masters is, I don't know. Well, make of that what you will. Alex, just great to see him. Always seems to take a step up from one season to the next. Took his first win in Porsche Sixt Carrera Cup Deutschland a couple of years ago. Took his second one last year. He's only ever won at the Nürburgring, so he's still yet to break that particular duck. With the pole position today, really fancied his opportunity to get that third win. It will come, and it will come soon. It may well come tomorrow, because we're going to have another race that will take place tomorrow morning. Look at the size of that crowd. I'm not going to be getting any lunch today because I'd have to get through that crowd. We've got DTM coming up later on. We've also got GT Masters, GT4 Germany, and the Freck Championship as well. That has been really, really entertaining. Monstrous crowd enjoying the Austrian sunshine in the Styrian mountains, and being provided with some great racing here. The season opener for the DTM weekend, but of course the second round for Porsche Sixt Carrera Cup Deutschland. We'll have another race tomorrow, then we've got a couple of weeks off, then it will be Spa-Francorchamps for races 5 and 6, round 3. Then the week after that, it will be Zandvoort for races 7 and 8, round 4, and then we're at the halfway point of the season already, which is just crazy. The races come thick and fast in the first half of the season. It slows down a bit as we continue through it. But this new car this year, the 911 Cup car, based on the latest 992.2, has been fantastic. A lot of eyes on this. Porsche having to produce the cars, so a limited number of series are receiving them, as we see the ID Racing crew looking on. So not everybody around the world receiving the new Cup car yet, but next year other series will have it as well. But a lot of focus on Porsche Sixt Carrera Cup Deutschland this year, looking at this new car, and it really has been spectacular. Of course, Porsche Mobil 1 Super Cup will also be running that when their season kicks off shortly. So our cameraman works his way through the crowd, and the police look on in case it all kicks off on the podium, and in a few moments we will get our drivers and representatives out to receive their trophies. And the great bit about the ADAC weekends, just allowing the fans to get up close and personal, not just with the cars, but with the drivers as well. The autograph sessions are insane. And for a lot of the drivers in Porsche Sixt Carrera Cup Deutschland, the queues to get their autograph when they have their session later on this afternoon will be quite an eye-opener. The fans absolutely love it. I've already said it's the 37th season of this great championship. In my opinion, the toughest single-make series, a cup championship in the world. And the 75th anniversary year of Porsche Motorsport. And just to show the attraction of it, we've got 14 countries represented on the grid. So from all over the world, as Proton competition, keep a straight face in front of the cameras, and we hear our stadium announcers getting ready to welcome our position finishers onto the podium. Alex Tauscher will be first out. An understated man, likes to do his talking on the track and often does.
Hinten hier hinter der Bühne steht schon bereit. Der Zweitplatzierte.
To second step of the podium will come our brand new championship leader in the shape of Keegan Masters. He knows it's consistency that wins championships.
Und dann kommen wir zum
But to the top step for the very first time in Porsche Sixt Carrera Cup Deutschland. He got a 6th place and an 8th place at Imola. But it's the podium and it's the top step for Marcus Armand here. Round 2.
Und dann darf ich natürlich noch mit aufs Podest bitten, als Vertreter für das Teams, den Race Engineer Vasilios Georgopoulos.
So, I wasn't going to try and pronounce that. Vasilios Georgopoulos from Proton competition. I can only apologise. The race engineer who comes out on behalf of the team.
Natürlich auch hier
So, it's going to be the Finnish national anthem. I'm going to have to ask my German colleague, Burkhard Bechtel, when was the last time we heard the Finnish national anthem on the podium of Porsche Sixt Carrera Cup Deutschland. I'll let you know tomorrow. Right, well, there's a familiar face presenting the trophies. The Vice President of Porsche Motorsport, Thomas Laudenbach, does so much for Porsche. As is the case with this man here, Torsten Rückert, the project manager, customer sport at Porsche Deutschland, who presents the second place trophy to Keegan Masters, and then Thomas Laudenbach, I think, will present the big one to the winner.
Doch mal genauso in der Reihenfolge erneut. Thomas Laudenbach mit der Übergabe für den
Marcus Armand gets his first bit of silverware in the series of Porsche Sixt Carrera Cup Deutschland. Thumbs up to the cameras. And then Torsten presenting the team trophy to Proton competition. And Christian Reed's team at Proton cheer from down below. The team squeeze up for the pictures. And the celebrations will start. But the celebrations will be short-lived because it's not long before we prepare ourselves for race 4 of the season. It's going to be happening at about 11:30 local time tomorrow morning, and that is when battle will recommence. I've had a look at the grids. It's a little bit different to what we had in this race because quali has taken place for tomorrow's race already. It could be Theo Urberhaus, it could be Keegan Masters, it could be Alex Tauscher, it could be any number of drivers, it could be Marcus Armand. The one thing is for sure, this season is proving to be absolutely unpredictable. Join us again tomorrow for race 4 of this enthralling 16-race season for Porsche Sixt Carrera Cup Deutschland. See you tomorrow.